Hey yo, welcome back to another YouTube video. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate all the liking and commenting and the sharing. If you're new here, my name is Enes and I've been trading stocks and options for the last 5 years now. So before we get started, hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so you can be updated on all the new videos. And with that being said, let's get started. In this video, I'm going to break down compound interest and how it can work for your favor into scaling your account and growing it over time. Basically, if you get a percentage return on your account compounded, then that can do wonders for your account. Let me explain. The number 14 right here stands for the 14th week of the year. So that's how I have it set up. And if we just scroll down, you're going to see that 52, which is the 52nd week, is actually the last week of the year, which this is a Monday. This is the date of a Monday, so December 26th. So now if we just take this number right here, this was the value of the account that I'm doing. By the way, I'm doing a 5K account challenge, and right now the account is at 12.9. And if you can see here, I'm technically ahead of the challenge based on what I need to do every single week to reach the 100K. So if you look at the first week here, if we just focus on this, we'll see a couple of things. This first number right here is the account balance at the beginning of the week. And then this is the profit that you would need to get to attain the 6%. And then this is where the account would be after you gain the 6%. And then on the next line, that's the beginning of the following week. The end of the first week is the beginning of the next week, and so on. Make 700, accounts at 13.6. You start the next week with 13.6, so on and so forth. Now, compound interest won't work if I withdraw money. So, for example, if I put $700, if I make $700 in this week, and now the account's at 12.8, but then I take out that 700 and withdraw it, my account's still at 12.1. And if next week I do 6%, I'm only going to do about 727. But if I don't withdraw, then 6% of the new balance is actually 770. Now, that's not that big of a difference, right? That's like very small. The only difference is what? An extra $40. But as we scroll down here, look how that $40 just starts to compound and get bigger and bigger. 1,500 now. 2K. 2,400. Now the difference between this and this is almost $200, right? Difference between this and this almost $400. So the difference is very small, but compounded, 12K account ends up being a 100K account if on average you make 6% a week. Now this doesn't mean that you get to 6% gain for the week and then you just stop trading. That's not what this template is for. And it also doesn't mean that you have to be green every single week, because as a trader you're susceptible to be wrong. That's going to happen sooner or later. And if you don't accept that, then that's when you can do some serious damage on one trade, right? And we've all been there. You don't want to take a huge hit on one trade, so you need to accept small losses along the way. You need to accept paper cuts in order to avoid bullet wounds. Again, listen to this right here. You need to accept paper cuts and you need to take paper cuts in order to avoid bullet wounds. What a lot of people do, they say, okay, there's a potential paper cut that I might have to take. They say, nah, I'm not going to take it. There's a chance that I can get out, safe. There's a chance that I can get out without any damage. But they're risking a gunshot, metaphorically speaking, in order to avoid the paper cut, right? Which makes no sense at all. Just like how you pay car insurance, you pay any insurance to protect the bigger loss, even though, you might not end up getting in an accident or you might not end up needing the insurance, you still pay it anyway. You take it as a guaranteed loss that protects you from bigger losses. And that's exactly what you have to do with trading. Take the paper cut. Take it. That's how you're going to stay in this game long term and avoid all the gunshots. A bullet wound is much harder to recover from than a paper cut, right? You got a bullet wound, you're going to need a lot of recovery, a lot of mental struggle, a lot of physical hurt is involved. But a paper cut, it's very easy to bounce back from a paper cut, but it's not as easy to get bounced back from a bullet wound. And even worse, you might not recover from a bullet wound, right? So metaphorically speaking, again, paper cut is a very small loss, and then a bullet wound is a big loss, and it might just kill your account. So now people might say, oh man, I don't have $12,000 to start. What do I do? Is this still going to work even if I have like 1,000 or 2,000? Hell yeah. It works the same exact way. Compound interest does not discriminate between any size account. For example, let's say that you're starting out with $5,000. By the end of the year, if you on average get a 6% gain, which is only going to happen if you are limiting losses, you're going to reach $45,000 by the end of the year. And let's say your account's only at $2,000. Oh, I only have $2,000. No problem, right? That's not an excuse. Your account could be at $18,000 by the end of the year. $1,000, no problem. Have $9,000 by the end of the year if you practice strict risk management and you know what your strategy is in the market. Now, you have $1,000, and by the end of the next year, by the end of this year, it could be $9,000. Now, let's say you start next year with $9,000, right? Boom, 9 months into the year, you'll be at $82,000. From now until next September, your $1,000 could potentially be $82,000 if you follow the risk management. So, what does it mean with this 6%? If I'm not trying to do it every single week, what does it mean? Basically, it's just an average 6%. So, for example, if 1 week I gain 9% and then the next week I lose 3%, then that's an average of a 6% gain, right? Maybe 1 week I make 7% and another week I make 5%. Again, that averages it to 6%. So what if I have 2 red weeks in a row where it's like 3%, 3%? That's fine. Later on, maybe you get 7% and then 8% and then 9%. So it'll catch up only if you keep the losses small, right? And if you see here, I also have this column just to let me know what my risk is going to be. So for example, my account right now is at 12.9. So instantly what I'm doing is I'm going to where it says about around 12.9, and then I'm going to the risk row. And what this tells me is I shouldn't lose more than 3%. Ideally, in a perfect world, I wouldn't want to lose more than 3% in a week. But worst case scenario for me, I believe I'll do it as $1,000. That's the worst drawdown that I would like to see on this account, because in terms of percentage, that's about a 10% hit. Looking at something like this gives me absolute patience, because understanding that all I need is 6% a week is very, very doable, especially if I'm trading same week expiration contracts or next week expiration contracts where they go up and down 20, 30, 40, 50%, if not 100, 200% sometimes, depending on how volatile the stock is and depending on, how close the expiration. So with that being said, this is what I'm going to be following, and that's the template, that's the goal. Every single week, gain an average of 6%. So now what do I do if I'm up already 6% on the week? Do I just stop trading? Hell no. The right thing to do at that point, just like at any point, is to take your edge every time you see it with minimal risk. Every single time. That's assuming, of course, that you are emotionally ready and you're not on tilt and you're not feeling any type of, negative energy, things like that. Because that can just lead in a downward spiral. So if your head is clear, you're thinking clearly, and you're up 6% on the week, and you see a high probability setup, risk very, very small amount of your profits to catch the move. Worst case scenario, your stop loss hits, you're still green on the week. All right? So that's pretty much it. I'm going to be sharing my journey over the next couple of months, and hopefully by the end of the year we take this account to about 110K. And like we said, it's very doable. All you got to do is, like for me today, accidentally I made 6%, a little bit more than 6% in one day, but it was because I averaged down and did stupid mistakes and had half the account in the trade at one point, which is not the best idea. But that just goes to show you what the possibility is. Most important thing would be to limit risk. And just to give you a quick example how I would use this in the future, let's say the account's at 22 at one point. My max loss for that week would be 690, right? Ideally. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you'd like me to send you this compound sheet, sign up for the email list below and I'm going to give it to you. All right? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this helpful, please give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and share it with a friend. Thank you, and see you on the next video. Yahoo!